If you are a Toby Keith fan, then you might not like what this masked country singer had to say about him. Meet Orville Peck. In case you haven't heard of him, he is getting a lot of media attention for not just being a gay country singer, but also for making some pretty decent music. But he had some not so nice things to say about Toby Keith in a recent interview. So I'm making this video to let him and his fans know about Toby's thoughts on homosexuality, politics, and more. Orville is doing well for himself music-wise. He has collaborated with Kylie Minogue, Elton John, and most recently with country outlaw legend and Toby Keith's friend Willie Nelson. In a recent interview with Billboard, Orville had a lot of things to say about country music, good things about country fans. But it was one comment he made on Toby Keith in the same interview that wouldn't quite sit well with good old Willie or any other fan or friend of Toby Keith. To begin with, I must clarify that this is not a hate video. Any comments on Orville's music, sexuality will only defeat the purpose of the video. If you want to write something, then please stick to the positive impact that Toby created and like the video to help this message reach more people, and hopefully Orville and his fans as well. So going back to Orville's interview, he starts off on the right foot. When asked about country fans accepting him for who he is, this is what he had to say. I have gained tons and tons of fans over the years who are true blue country people. So I think country fans are not given enough credit for how open-minded they are. There is also some truth in him claiming the industry is not as open as the fans are. So far, so good. It's only when the discussion moves to Beyoncé and country music not being diverse enough that things start going downhill. Orville believes that after 9/11, for a section of fans, country music became all about patriotism. As per him, a certain amount of people in America are afraid to embrace anything that's different at the moment. And it seems to be getting worse and worse. He went on to question why country music or any other genre should have anything to do with your political identity. And he followed this up with the most shocking statement of the interview, which also surprisingly went unnoticed by media. He said, "It started with Toby Keith," whatever that f***ing shit song was called, "and then it's carried on throughout country. You see it in Try That in a Small Town." And the funny thing is like, none of these songs are any good. And this is where Orville lost me. First of all, real bad timing to bring this up a few months after Toby's death. And secondly, he never quite understood Toby Keith. Toby was patriotic, not political. He could be seen singing at Trump's presidential inauguration and also be supportive of Barack Obama.
You would think you know who Toby Keith was, and then you're watching Obama's Nobel acceptance speech, and there's Toby Keith giving him a standing ovation.
And although not directly stated, Orville's statements also imply that Toby and his brand of music will not embrace anything that is different. If the intent here is to question Toby's views on homosexuality, here is something that Orville needs to know. Back in 2011, 4 years before the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage across all 50 states, Keith was asked about his views on the subject in an interview. And this is what he had to say. "That whole gay issue thing, that's never bothered me. I've never seen what that affects and why anybody should care. I never saw the reasoning behind getting in people's personal lives." Some might call Toby a complex man, but for his fans, he was as simple as they come. He'd always put country first and understood life is too short for holding grudges and being negative. Something he also spoke of when he chose to end the feud with Dixie Chicks while acknowledging his role in it. Before I go, I would again request everyone to keep the comments the way Toby would have liked it, honest but not hurtful. And please do hit the like and subscribe buttons before you go.